What's happening, Andy here? I am joined by Brian Ruiz of Visual Edge IT. How are you today, Brian?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
I am great. It's a little chilly here in Western New York today, but we're getting through it. At least we're not melting. It's a little warmer in some of the areas of the country. We haven't spoken in a while, and you've got a lot going on. Why don't we just real quick, for those who don't know, tell us who Visual Edge is, and then tell us what you do for them.
Yeah, so Visual Edge is a total solution provider for all things in the office space and also in the production print space. And a big portion of our business also is managed IT and cybersecurity solutions. So we really try to just help clients navigate, in a vendor neutral approach, the right solutions and the right decisions that they can make for their technology and their services. And so, what I do for Visual Edge IT is I support the production business. So, I'm the national director of the production business segment, which incorporates technology, workflow, and business development tools and resources.
So, big part of the company, you sell what we would consider big iron,
The
right?
big iron, the big printers, the big solutions, all the fancy software. Yeah.
Yep. So last time we talked, you were rolling out a lot of new programs. You had just I was at your kickoff, and you had just signed up Epson. You had a lot of good news about your Iridesc products that you were selling. So why don't you fill us in? It's been several months. You've had spring and summer now. What's happened at Visual Edge in the world of production? What have you been up to?
Yeah, it's been a lot, in that past year since we last spoke, where we really expanded the business to cover a lot more states nationally, which has been great, just because of the growth of the production business, double-digit growth for us, which has been awesome. We've added a lot more resources for sales, service, support, technical experts, because we're really taking advantage of the opportunity inside the industry. We've also expanded a lot of different types of solutions for our clients with technology, workflow, business development, and really expanding even just beyond helping clients navigate just technology decisions. But what are the right decisions for their business with software and workflow automation, leveraging AI and all this, great things to produce print at a lower cost. And then we brought in even a bigger division to help our clients expand, right, with sales and training and marketing resources to help them understand how to leverage the right technology and this right workflow. So we really expanded, a complete, product line and solution set across the nation. We added a lot more resources, and we're just taking advantage of the industry and the changes going on right now.
Well, you focusing on some of the areas that you expanded and you added people. You said before we got on the call, that kind of caught my attention. You added 10 more of you, essentially,
Yeah.
10 more experienced people. Tell us about the people that you added at that capacity, at that level, and what's their role? How are they going to be helping Visual Edge? And this is only in production, if I understood you correctly.
Correct. This is just in the production focus segment. Yeah. So what we found is there was a need for a lot of our clients to try to figure out how do I navigate the right technology, right? How do I get and understand what's going to be the best solution for me, for my business, for my goals of what I want to accomplish. So it's very important for us to really kind of develop this structure of technical experts, people that really knew the production print industry, that knew workflow, that knew and had insight on helping clients navigate, making the right decisions. So we made a huge investments nationally to really bring on some of the top people in the industry. So we went out there and we really understood, okay, who are some of the best resources available, and we brought them on board on really, going out there and meeting with some of our large clients, and helping them navigate, you know, what are going to be the best decisions for technology workflow for their needs and their goals. So we developed this whole group of technical experts, and even beyond the production specialists, right? So these are sales specialists. We made a lot of investment, just technical experts, people that understood workflow and that could support it, and how to program different things, if it's like web to print solutions, if it's personalization software. So we've actually made even more investments in further experts from a technical and software side also.
So, and that kind of builds on the story. You need this. because you're supporting multiple brands, multiple, and it's something that makes you kind of unique, right? You are what we would consider a mega dealer. You are first of all one of the biggest. You're probably top five biggest of the companies that we follow as far as revenue and that often means you work with multiple vendors, right? And so I think what kind of makes that sort of interesting is you're not locked into one brand, one solution. You can really tailor, it's a great talk track for a salesperson because you can really build a custom solution around their needs with multiple brands. Who are some of the brands that you represent, and tell us, what's it like working with some of the guys you really like to work with in the production space?
Yeah, all the brands are great companies and they support us very well. Since we are, our scope is coast to coast. We have over 70 offices. We pretty much support the whole country. But we work with brands like Xerox. So from an equipment manufacturer standpoint, Xerox, Kyocera, Sharp, Canon, Konica, Epson. Those are kind of our main technology brands that we represent, and they're all great. As far as what they do and how they support us, nationally. And then we also have a lot of other brands that provide this vendor neutral approach and making sure that we're guiding the client to the right decision with finishing solutions.
Yeah,
So if it's folders, if it's cutters, there's a
inserter.
lot of different brands, and they all have their pluses and minuses depending on what that client's goals are. So we have a whole product portfolio of finishing solutions, nail equipment. So if it's from like Pitney Bowes or if it's from Quadient or Formax or so forth. We have a whole solution set for mail solutions, and then software, right? Software is a big key that's changing the game because companies are trying to always figure out ways, how can I be more efficient and effective? I got to produce more print. I need to personalize it. I need to integrate it with QR codes and augmented reality and all this new innovative technology with NFC tags, and they want to make it a digital experience inside that print piece. So you need software in order to do that. You need software in order to expand your revenues and scale up. And so we've been really expanding our software side of the business to help our clients be more efficient and effective to manufacture print and digital communications more effectively.
Well,
So
it's funny
it's
you
just,
say that, right? Because a lot of people may think if you're not selling production, you think production and you just think stacks and stacks and stacks of paper, and that's not typically how it comes out. It comes out bound, it comes out punched, it comes out formatted, it comes out in brochures on different substrates, right? And sometimes it gets put into different places and used differently. Some become labels. It's just with that, let's maybe kind of switch gears and maybe you could talk about the state of the industry and where we are right now because it is interesting, right? We were talking about production print, but a big part of this is software. It's not just the hardware. You represent, a lot of the hardware companies, not all of them, but many of them. But honestly, what you sell a customer could be completely different than what a competitor sells with the same hardware at the end, right? Because it's customized with the finishing, like you said, with the software. You might have RSA on there, you might have VFI on there as a controller. You might be using PaperCut or NT-Wear if it's Canon, perhaps, right? And then you've got the folders, inserters, and finishers, the Duplos of the world. What's the state of the industry? Where are we right now? And let's take it from there.
yeah, I think the state of industry is actually pretty good. And, you got to provide things in context. And so if you look at where we're going with the manufacturers and the investments that they're making in, we're seeing a huge shift. And this huge shift is technology, as it always does, drives, right, the innovation and changes of what's going on. And we're in a huge shift right now inside the production print realm. So if you look at typical applications with like direct mail and book manufacturing and just even corporate collaterals, right? If you look at wide format printing for signage and all that standard things that we would just say print, those are being going to dramatically change because you need to introduce digital, call it communications in it, plus the technology behind it from OEM manufacturers. There's huge investments that they're making on the next phase of technology. So with the way technology works, as we know, it's always about how could you manufacture faster, lower cost, more productive. So the future of the industry is dramatically changing because there's been a big wave of like technologies like inkjet technology, which is changing the game. All this software automation where you no longer need an employee, clicking the mouse of a button, 100 times. A software could do it. And then with, digital integration, augmented reality and smartphones and QR codes and websites, that's changing the game also because it's just not about print, but it is about communications and digital communications. So the future is changing dramatically. And we're going to see it. We're going to see it over at, Printing United, which is a big print show coming up in a few weeks.
Well, you just took my lead, and I wanted to go and talk about Printing United because I know you guys are showing there. You are one of the only, maybe the only, but definitely one of the only dealers I know of that are going to be there showing, not just visiting. A lot of dealers go. Everybody watching this video, if you're free in September, go. If you want to, pop in on the biggest production print show in the U.S. This is the one. It comes once a year. Why are you guys, I know you've gone every year. Let me ask you real quick before though. Did you go to Drupa? Drupa was earlier this year. Did you do that or no?
No, we did not. We did not go to Drupa.
So and Drupa is the world's biggest production print show, and they have I don't know exactly what the partnership is, but this year they announced a partnership with Printing United. So they are
Correct.
somehow co-branding. Printing United's not as big as Drupa. Maybe someday it will be, but right now it's it does have a little catching up to. But it's our biggest show in North America.
Yes.
So what? Tell me about you guys showing there instead of just going and walking the floor like you typically have done. What's the logic behind having your own booth, and then we'll go from there. Tell me about what you like about this show.
Yeah, well, just like I mentioned, there's huge innovations happening in the print industry. The OEM suppliers are, really manufacturing brand new technology that's going to really change the game inside the production print. So we saw, this was the time for us to make the investments. The future of print is actually now, and it's happening. So what's happening is the manufacturers are coming out with a lot of new technology. There's a lot of new finishing solutions out there. There's new wide format printers coming out. There's software automation solutions. There's new finishing solutions. And so for us as a total solution provider in the production print space and how we help navigate, these decisions, it was important for us to make the investment to actually have a booth there. Because as we talk to a lot of clients, they're always trying to figure out, well, how do I make these investments on all this great technology that we see on social media and websites and what the OEMs talk about, but how do I acquire the technology? And that's what a lot of clients are always like, okay, I could go to the direct manufacturer, but do they have local service and support? How is their billing and their account management? Do they have a local expert that I could talk to? And that's what we provide at Visual Edge. So we thought about, okay, if all this new technology is coming out that's really going to change the landscape of the future of the print industry and the production side of the house, we should have a booth there so they know that they have a vehicle like Visual Edge IT. We're a national company, coast to coast, right? That they could come to us. We could help guide them on what's going to be that right solution, right? Because it gets a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
You go to the booths and everyone has all their value proposition of how great everything is. And all solutions have their strong pluses and their niches that they do really well. But it's hard to navigate like, well, what's the truth? What's the pluses and minuses? And is this the right solution or is this one? And that's what we do. We leverage our expertise. We leverage our vendor relationships. We leverage, the service and support of the technology that we offer. And we provide that guidance to that customer. So we thought it would be really good to have a booth and really kind of launch the Visual Edge IT brand as, that partner that they could come to. And anything that they pretty much see at the print show, we could help guide them on, making the right decision. And also, too, if you think about it, in the print industry, you're always trying to figure out, well, how do I make that investment? Is it a CapEx expense? I have to pay, a lot of money up front. What are the unique, ways that I could finance equipment? And we provide that end-to-end solution, all the way from choosing the right equipment, if it's technology, workflow. We even help with some of the business development tools and the experts that we have from, marketing, sales, and training and support. And then we can even finance those solutions, right? And we have very creative and very flexible financing solutions that give our clients a lot of options now when they're making the purchase, and even throughout the course of the agreement and where they want to go in the future. So we just thought it was a great venue to, go out there and show, the investments that we made to, provide that opportunity for organizations that are looking at all the new technology, if it's inkjet and software, finishing solutions, and just give them a vehicle to acquire the technology and to have a company that can support them with the investments that we made with the experts that we have.
So what I really love about it is you go to the Xerox booth, you're going to see Xerox. You go to the Konica Minolta booth, you're going to see Konica Minolta, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to see great solutions from all of these vendors, every one of them. But you're going to see their solutions, and then you can come to the Visual Edge booth and you can see something. I mean, you're not completely vendor agnostic. There's a couple you did, I imagine that you don't sell, but you sell most of them, right? So to be able to really sit down with somebody walking the floor there and say, and be able to say to them, want to see how all these work together, want to see how we can pick the best of breed from all of these vendors and put it into something unique for you. That's really cool. So, do you have an idea yet of what's going to be on your floor? Is there going to be any machines, any hardware? Is it going to be just people and video? How are you laying out your floor? Have you thought about it yet?
Yes, we actually have. And, if you follow my LinkedIn and the Visual Edge, the social media, we'll actually be putting up videos and posts about, what we will be displaying over there at Printing United. But yeah, we will actually be showcasing what we could do to help our clients make those decisions. So it's a vendor neutral approach. It's not about here is this product or here's that product. It's about, what is it that you want to accomplish with the technology? Because, let's be frank about it. You're going to go there and maybe you see a printer. Most companies and organizations aren't looking to buy a printer. They're looking to buy what that printer or that software or that finishing does for that
Solution.
organization.
You're looking for a solution. Right? Yeah.
That's it. So
Oop.
our booth is really going to be talking about, how we can help our clients create a true total solution for them using our end-to-end workflow. So we're going to have, TVs there, presentations. We're going to be talking about developing the right solution and, trying to really understand their goals, as far as what they want to accomplish with the technology and their applications. And also, too, we will be launching, I think this is going to be very innovative in the print service space, right? So you have a lot of print service providers, right? You got commercial printers, transactional printers. You have a lot of implants that go there. It could be school districts and higher ed. You have a lot of, corporate clients that are going there that are maybe managing an implant. And so they're trying to navigate the right technology. One of the things that I think where there's an opportunity, because a lot of companies think, okay, you're a commercial printer, you're a print service provider. We are launching a whole division, which is part of our name, Visual Edge IT, which is cybersecurity and managed IT services for print service providers. So, and I think that is going to be a big transition also. What we found out that, a lot of these print service providers, mostly the SMB market, small, medium business, they don't really have a strategy for managed IT, for their computers, their hardware, how they manage it, their backup strategy. They're like, well, I have, someone that I call if I need help, or, I have a guy that kind of knows a lot about computers, but they don't have a strategy. So we're launching a new strategy specifically for print service providers that make it easy for them to have a company like Visual Edge IT and the huge investments that we have in structure for managed IT. And then the biggest thing is cybersecurity. If you think about what is print, print's data. It comes from, digital data, and then we reformat it and do some fun things with software. And then you get your bills and your invoices and you get your collaterals and it's personalized. And It has your information on it. So we're launching a really nice complete solution for the print service providers for cybersecurity. So, we really provide a full end-to-end solution. It's not just hardware, it's just not software, but it's also on the back end to help these print service providers just focus on what they need to focus on, and that's their sales and generating revenue and manufacturing that print and communications.
I had never even thought about the opportunity to sell your IT services to that crowd and at that conference. What a great, you're going to get a little talking to from the production print police because you're coming into this print show talking about security and cyber. That's awesome. What a great idea. Very cool. Very cool. And I know, I mean, that is something that, is being marketed more and more, especially from the software side. There are a lot more solutions that are addressing security. I wouldn't say maybe it's lax. Maybe I just don't pay as much attention to the production print world as I do to the office. But it doesn't seem like they get the same level, the same amount of scrutiny. And you're right, they're all small and medium, a lot of small and medium companies, right? Many and most of them don't have their own IT staff. They rely on companies like you. And they're just trying to do business and not get taken down. And if they get taken down, the presses stop and they're done. So great idea, great idea. So I'm looking forward to a follow up maybe after the Printing United show. I want to see how that went, but I guarantee you probably be one of the only, if not the only company at that show talking cybersecurity to this crowd. That's kind of brilliant, actually.
Yeah, yeah, no, we're excited to launch, and that will be our booth, right? We'll just talk about our service solutions, how we do it, and then we have a follow-up process, and yeah, that we work with our clients, and hopefully, we identify some great new partnerships that we
Oh
have, and
yeah.
we're just excited about the future of the production print space and all the changes and the investments that our OEM partners and manufacturers are making in, and we're just going to take advantage of the opportunity because it is changing quite a bit. And with this new technology will be a new opportunity for our end clients and for us to work together. So we're really excited about the show, and the future looks really bright with all these new technologies and services that we'll be able to offer our clients.
Well, it sounds like over the last year you've been building out like crazy in the production group. You still have the pedal to the metal with managed services. It sounds like you guys are cruising right along, and you're taking a big step with this having your own booth there. That's kind of throwing down the gauntlet to a lot of other companies, competitors especially, right? Showing, kind of showing who you are and that you are next level, and you're up there, getting booth space with the OEMs, with the vendors and the manufacturers. And some of the manufacturers aren't even doing it this year. So, you're ahead of the game in that respect, in my opinion. This has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on and taking the time to talk to us. And do you have any last messages, any last shout outs you'd like to make before we wind down?
No, come visit us at the booth. C 2769 is our booth number. Follow Visual Edge on social media. Connect with me for updates. We will be having some further exciting announcements towards the end of the year, which will, hopefully, help a lot of the clients navigate through the complexities of all this technology and software and workflow solutions. So we're here to help. We appreciate it. Appreciate you, Andy. It's been a great conversation and catching up, and hopefully we'll talk soon.
Hopefully it's very soon. Great talking to you, Brian. Always great catching up. Enjoy the last couple weeks of your summer, and we will see you very soon. Thank you.
Excellent. Take care.
Take care.